Hey everybody, Billy back here to talk to you about Spider-Man Far From Home. I will warn you, there are spoilers ahead. I hate when people spoil movies for me. So if you have not watched um, Spider-Man Far From Home, please turn this off. This includes my co-host Jack. Anyways, here we go. Spider-Man Far From Home takes place after Avengers Endgame. So the loss of the characters Iron Man, um, Black Widow, and then with Captain America being older now, it's felt. Also, the snap took place, and it's actually funny how they did the time jump and everything. Let me just say this: the cast you can tell is a lot of fun. Um, Spider Man, his best friend Ned, and then MJ, who's played by Zendaya. And then you also have the teacher who is hilarious. And then you have Aunt May, you have Happy, you have Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. Really, this whole movie is just fantastic. The cast, you can tell they have good chemistry and they have a lot of fun. I was laughing. There were moments that were sad. There are moments that are funny. There's moments pretty much anything for anybody. And I will go on record to say this: Homecoming was my favorite Marvel movie because I grew up on Spider Man as a kid, and they finally had somebody that played the whole cast perfectly. I liked. I explained this yesterday. I liked Maguire as Parker better. I liked Garfield as Spider Man, but Holland plays both to perfection. You have to be able to play both seamlessly and be able to go from one to the other. Um, the story is just fantastic. Of course, you have the Eternals, which they sell as like a water one, an earth one, a fire, and all that. It actually is just special effects with drones. And Mysterio turns out to be a bad guy the whole time. He was he got fired by Iron Man, and everything. So this is like his revenge plot, but it's an outfit and everything, and he gives you illusions. Um, so they go over to Europe for a trip. They're traveling all around Europe, and basically Nick Fury upgrades their trip for free to get Spider-Man into Prague. Um, I will say that the plot twist was very cool. Um, because they battled this gigantic fire one, and it was like, oh my god. Then of course MJ finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. There was the joke about the Peter Tingle, which Spider-Man sent. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. So this was a fun movie that didn't go too fast nor too slow. It went where the speed it should have. And like I said, Homecoming was my favorite Marvel movie going into this movie. Now Far From Home is my favorite. There's something about these movies that are just amazing. Pun intended. But no, there is something amazing about it because Homecoming, I felt, was Peter Parker kind of trying to figure out who he is. And Far From Home explores this a little more, but now, as we get later into the film, he becomes more confident. The reason I think I love these movies so much is Peter Parker is one of the most relatable, down to earth characters, and Spider Man is probably the most relatable hero because throughout the movie, they fight with the fact that part of him just wants to go with MJ and just say, you know what? Let somebody else do the fighting. Let me focus on um, the girl I want. And there's something powerful about that because I think we can all relate to that. Sometimes, you know, we just want to do our normal lives and then, you have other things you have to do. And so Peter Parker, he's fighting internally here with he wants a normal life with his friends and the girl he likes, but he also knows he has a greater purpose of becoming Spider-Man. So the question is, can he balance the two? That's the hardest thing for Spider-Man. In the first film, he couldn't. Everything that happened with Liz and then her dad being Vulture and everything. But in this movie, I really feel like he's starting to get there. So I'm hoping you're rooting for him the whole time. As Peter Parker, as the person, as the kid that wants this girl, you want that for him because he deserves it because everything he's been through. But then also everything he's been through motivates him to become more. So you're rooting for Peter Parker and you're rooting for Spider-Man. That's what I love about this film. It's lighthearted, it's fun, it's fast-paced, but not too fast, like I said. And honestly, there wasn't a lot of downtime in this film. There were a lot of plot twists, and they did a good job. Also, stay for the after end credits. There's two. There's a mid after credit scene, and there's one at the very end, and they're both very big and important for the future of the MCU. So make sure you watch them. Um, I will go out, like I said, and say Far From Home is my favorite Marvel movie now. And I'm not ashamed of saying that because I love the characters. I love the cast. And the awkwardness of Peter Parker trying to tell MJ how he feels is relatable. I mean, I think it could be very nerve-wracking to ask out somebody, even if you both like each other. It's just it's this the pressure that is felt, I think, by society and dating is here, and it's hard right now today. I think dating is the hardest it's ever been, just because you have the internet and you have so many different distractions, and sometimes you just have to be able to put your phone down and look at each other. And I think this film also shows the importance of that. The technology sometimes actually causes more problems than what it's worth. There's a point where Peter Parker meets this woman to change into a Spider-Man outfit, and it's a black Spider-Man outfit, and he's down to his underwear with this woman, and so MJ's other love interest takes a picture. He's gonna send it, and he deletes it, but not before sending a nuke or a missile, actually, I should say, to attack his classmate that the on the bus they're on, and finally he's able to stop it. But there's that, and then of course Iron Man leaves behind a pair of glasses that allows the user to control many different things, including satellites that they have access to. Also, the big plot twist with Nick Fury was awesome. I won't say too much about that. It was interesting. But yeah, this movie ties up a lot of loose ends, and they're calling this the end of the Infinity Saga. Now we move forward. Man, it's only July, 7 months in, and we've already had all three of Marvel movies this year. We've had Captain Marvel early, we had Endgame, now we have Far From Home. I'm excited though, because we'll see I think two movies next year is what's on the schedule. Because they usually do three, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had to be delayed, so they're actually expecting two movies. But I'm curious now to see where they go, because they set up a lot of intriguing future options. You could have Secret Wars. You could have Spider-Man teaming with the Kree, or you could have more Avengers stuff with this. But at first I was a little bit skeptical, because it's hard now that Iron Man's gone, Black Widow is gone, Cap. So it's like, what do we do? Well, honestly, the future looks bright, and I think Spider-Man should be the way to kick that off. But this was considered the end of the Infinity Saga, so I'm hoping for a third movie, because we've seen two Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. The third Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire was awful. I don't blame Maguire, I blame the writing and everything, but I want to see, can they pull off for the first time a good third film for Spider-Man. I will argue the original Spider-Man was good. The second one had a good villain and it was still good. Third one was complete trash. Andrew Garfield's went to two and then didn't go to three, which I think would have been rushed for Sinister Six. They were always trying to rush this. Oh, we're gonna do Sinister Six. Well, when you put too many villains in a film, it shows. Sometimes one villain's enough, maybe two. This movie definitely had advertised villain, but then you have the real villain later. But yeah, I feel like that the writers for this are amazing, and so is the cast. So kudos to you, Marvel, Tom Holland, Zendaya, rest of the cast. I just want to say thank you for making the best Marvel film yet, and I continue to support your careers no matter what films you do, because I really like all of you, because you guys stepped it up, and I wish you nothing but happiness and success, personally and professionally. Well, that's all I have for today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know I went long, but I'm very passionate about Spider-Man and the MCU, but this being my number one film that I've been looking forward to, but it shot here are my expectations. On a scale of 1 to 10, I was on a 10 for hype. It succeeded at 100. That's how good this movie was. So if you have not seen it, or if you have seen it, want to go watch again, I didn't rewatch Endgame because I liked it, but I just felt like I wanted to wait till it came out to watch it again and to watch it at home on DVD or whatever, Blu-ray, because I have all the Marvel films so far that have come out, so I'm keeping that collection on. But I think this is the cast I would want to meet the most too out of any movie because they all seem down to earth, very relatable, very fun group. Um, yeah, I want to see what happens because now we know Spider-Man's identity, which of course the viewers already knew, but now the whole world knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, thanks to asshole Mysterio. But yeah, what a film! What a way to kick off July. I'm gonna go see this again with some friends of mine. 4th of July actually tomorrow. So I do not regret seeing it, and I love it. Talk to you guys later. Sorry I could continue rambling, but I just love this film. Also, I will be doing other future projects with my co-host and friend Jack. We really do need to meet up. There's been a lot of stuff going on that's prevented us, but we will hopefully have more stuff for you on this channel and an original show that we are working on. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, but we finally are going to do it. I've been working on a book, making progress on it. My next project is the films. So yeah, talk to you later.